Hi guys, Huvian Central here, back with another video, and today we're going to be reviewing one of my personal favourite episodes, Day of the Daleks, which is the opening story to Series 9 of, and also the third series of John Pertwee's era. So yeah, today we're going to be looking at the DVD and reviewing it. I've now got the Target novelisation book version of the book. The Target novelisation book. So I'm going to read this and then I will review this and then probably compare it to the episode, which is something I might do from all my Target novelisations, as I've got Genesis as well, and I'm going to get a couple more hopefully. So to start off, I think it's a good story in the sense that it's very different. I think the big issue with a lot of the stories, a lot of the Dalek stories were that they kind of got a bit repetitive. I know that a big complaint is that Planet of the Daleks kind of feels like the original Dalek story, but changed a bit in some places and rehashed to make it a bit different. But I feel like this one is completely by itself. It doesn't link in, it doesn't seem familiar, it just works as its own little story. And it also works as it works because it manages to find a way to bring the Daleks in with honour and make sure it fits with the fact that John Pertwee's stuck on Earth, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, the premise of the story is that someone's just been seeing ghosts or like people that are there and then they aren't there straight away. And that's because some of the humans from the future are coming back in time to kill this man who they believe is the reason that the world came into this state of crisis. And yeah, I think that starts up to be a pretty interesting story, especially how you don't really know the Daleks are in it, except from the fact that obviously it's Day of the Daleks, but they don't necessarily seem to see them, and it's kind of interesting seeing those kind of formats, which they usually use later in Resurrection of the Daleks, I think. But yeah, and then obviously then UNIT is called in to investigate this weird ghost thing, the ghosts, which obviously turn out not to be ghosts. They're actually just humans from the future who've come back to the past, stealing some of the Daleks' time technology so they can stop what they believe is the reason that they lose and to the Daleks, and the Daleks can invade. But yeah, and I think Pertwee's performance in this is very good. He just seems quite funny in this episode. Sometimes he's calm, sometimes he's fighting everyone, and then other times he's just annoying people just indefinitely, which I always find quite funny. And in this episode, which I believe they appear again in Planet of the Daleks, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it wasn't Planet of the Daleks, it was Frontier in Space. This is the first appearance of the Ogrons, who are like the servants to the Daleks, and then they help the Master to meet the Daleks' own end in Frontier in Space. The Ogrons are kind of like the slaves. They're quite obedient, and they're just kind of like mercenaries. They just go around doing the dirty work for the Daleks that they don't want to get. The Daleks don't want to have to do themselves, which is a pretty cool thing to look at. Because it kind of shows the undertones of how some people it shows how in some movies there's like how the villain, the big boss, doesn't really want to do all the dirty work, which when he makes other people do it, which is kind of symbolised here. And then another thing they have is humans working for them, in like higher up humans showing the class and stuff. How there's the leader of the Earth who actually works for the Daleks is higher up, and he seems like quite a come from a quite well off family, where the other workers in the factory some look like they come from some poorer areas. So yeah, I think all around is probably my favourite Dalek story from Pertwee's era. I think it's significantly better than Death to the Daleks, because I think that one story just seems to drag a lot, and I think it's quite a lot better from Planet of the Daleks, considering I think Planet of the Daleks is a tad of a redo from Daleks. It feels like the original Daleks, but just changed ever so slightly. And if you watch them quite close together, you'll start to probably see that. Considering this was considering the hype, I suppose, around it, considering the Daleks haven't been seen since 1966, I can see why back then it might not have been the best story in the world, but for as a story it's pretty good, and I think this story probably falls under the same category as as Revenge of the Cybermen, where the last time they saw the main villain, it was so long ago that the hype was so inevitable that if the story wasn't anything less than perfect, it was going to not be. People might not have liked it as much, but that's why. That's why some people don't like it. But personally, I think it's quite a good episode, a good one for the Doctor, and quite a good one for Joe as well. I feel like the Brigadier doesn't do very much in it. However, he has a lot of it in the Series 7, Series 8, he does a lot. I think the best part of the story, in my opinion, is definitely the revelation at the end, where they find out that the reason the Daleks conquered Earth wasn't because the guy they were trying to kill, I can't remember his name, the guy they're trying to kill, not because he's going to destroy something, the peace conference, which is going to start a war, which will destroy the Earth. It's because they went back in time to try and prevent it. They prevented it, but the guy who was left there tried to prevent it, but he blew up the whole house, and that's the reason that it started in the first place. So it was quite a cool. It was quite a cool look at things. That the people who went back in time, the only reason they went back in time wasn't because the reason they're going back in time is because of themselves. The only reason they're going back in time is because they've already gone back in time and started this whole thing in the first place, which I thought was quite an interesting revelation, which doesn't really happen often, and I didn't expect it, which is very good. All around, I think it's a good story. I think it's significantly better than most of the Dalek stories after in the Pertwee era. But I don't know. It's just a all around pretty good story. I'm upset that the Gold Dalek never returns. I know a lot of people complain that the voices of the Daleks aren't the best. Although I believe they tried to change them now. They might have put. They might have tried to put. They've tried to change the voices, and they updated the voices of the Daleks to make them sound a little better, because apparently in the original they didn't sound very nice. But yeah, and then but the one thing I can always say, I always find funny about this story is that the Daleks in this story, except from the gold one, the Daleks in this story are the Daleks you see in Genesis, are the Daleks, which I always find funny, because everyone refers to them as Genesis Daleks when they're in Planet Day, and I believe they're the same design but different colouring in Death to the Daleks. But yeah, so that's my review on Day of the Daleks. Once I've read the book, the novelisation book, I'll review this, and then I'll do a comparison to show you the differences of them and the similarities and which one, in my opinion, is better. But yeah, if you have enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe, and post your comments and post your opinion in the comment section down below. So yeah, if you want to watch anything else on my channel, there should be some suggestions up in the top right and left corner eventually, and my subscribe thing there. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.